All right, another graph that I'd like you to create is a bar graph. So here you're going to use your categorical data. Again, when you do the stem and leaf plot, you could either use the numerical data or the categorical data. One thing I didn't say in the stem and leaf plot, again, insert, document, and then do the upload from there. That's how you're going to do all of these. You're going to do a screenshot with this your iPad. I'm using Explain Everything because I'm trying to make a video here for you. You can use any other writing app that you prefer. Okay, so stem and leaf plot. Now we're working on bar graphs. Bar graphs, I want everyone to do their categorical data. So again, you're going to go here and sort your categorical data. Get a nice list there for you. Now, again, for me, I have 120 pieces of data. That was just way too much for me to do. So I just used the Swedish Fish, Skittles, Peanut Butter Cups, Kit Kats, Milky Way, chocolate, and Sour Patch Kids. I picked some of the larger ones, okay? Now, on the bottom here, in no particular order, I didn't do it from greatest to least or least to greatest. Here it kind of went down at 10, 11, 7, 6, 4. It could have been in any order. It doesn't really matter what the bar graph looks like and how it's organized. However, on the bottom, you should have all your categories, okay? And then you need to come up with some sort of scale, okay? Notice how I'm counting it by 5s, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. I didn't go up by 5 and then go up by like 20. I didn't go 5, 25, and then 30, okay? My scale has to be consistent. So my largest number was the Skittles, okay? 20 people preferred Skittles as their favorite. So I knew that I had to go from 0, because you always start at 0, all the way up to 20. 20 had to be my maximum. Now, in order to make my scale here and kind of keep everything evened out, because this is pretty spaced fairly well and spaced fairly well, got about the same distance between each of these. I didn't use a ruler or anything. I just kind of eyeballed it. Well, half of 20 is 10. So what I did was I made the whole bar graph. First thing I did was I did the blue line here. All right. And then I wrote in my different candies, my different categories. Again, I would like you to list all of your categories. I just did 7 because I have, quite a few. With 120 surveys, I had quite a few. All right, you're in the range of like 20 to 30 surveys. I'm assuming you're going to have maybe about 10 different categories. If you have more than that, you can stop it at 10. Okay, so right now you're looking at a picture. This is 7. Okay, so I could have squeezed a couple more in here probably, and I would have been just fine. Again, I could have made this whole thing smaller too. I could have pinched it in and made it smaller. But I'm just trying to make a nice video here for you, and so I'm just doing 7. Again, I would like you to do at least 10. So if you have more than 10, you can stop at 10 different categories. Okay. Now, 20 was my highest, and then I took half of that, and that's 10. So I went down halfway down my line, and I marked it there, and I wrote 10. Then half of 10, of course, I went halfway down. I marked that. I made 5, and then I went halfway up and marked that and made 15. Now, you don't need all the other little marks. I don't need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? 0, 5. This looks nice and clean. Okay? I like it nice and clean. You don't need all the little marks in between. So again, 20 needed to be my highest, so I divided that by 2 to make 10. I went halfway down the line, just eyeballed it, marked it, made 10. Then I went halfway down the line again, marked that, and made 5. I wouldn't just want 0, 10, and 20. I do kind of like these numbers in between, but then after that, we're good with that. Now, a bar graph is not like a histogram. Okay, remember that histogram we showed you before? See how these things all kind of ran together? All the bars are touching. Okay, that's the histogram. We had ranges and intervals down here, and we had frequency on the side. Okay, a bar graph is a little bit different. Okay, notice our bars are not touching. The reason why? Because each bar represents its own category. It's not like the histogram where they're running together. This does not mean anything to do with that. These are completely separate. So that's why a bar graph is separate, whereas a histogram, they kind of run together. Now notice at the top I listed my number. I do like to see that because then not only can I see the graph, but then I can actually see the data without having to look, without having to actually go back and look at your data on your survey. it just makes it easier for me when I'm trying to correct these projects. So please include the number here with all of your bars. So again, when you're done making your bar graph, take a little screenshot of that. If you want to make a video and embed or give me a link to a YouTube video of that and explain everything, that'd be awesome. However, at the very least, you need to do a screenshot of this, and then from there, you're going to go to your website, go underneath bar graph, insert, document. From the document, you go upload photos. You choose it from your camera roll, and you'll stick that picture of your bar graph right in there. So good luck using your iPad to create that bar graph, and have some fun.